Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm just gonna make a quick video about Vitreus, and I used to make videos about other projects and about the math. That's kind of fun to look at the math on what it could be if they do well. Obviously, if they don't do well, then these numbers aren't going to matter, but it's fun to look at what they could be as far as the revenue. So it's not even profit. If they're bringing in $1 million in revenue, 5% of that's going to the holders that are in the VIP program and the VIPP program. That's just holders that are staking before the presale and after the presale. So it's 5% that's going to be given to the Vitreus holders. There's 2% that's going to the presale holders, and there's also 3% that's going to go to all holders that are staking. You can go on OpenSea and check out all the Vitreus vouchers. So real simply, like, no matter what the revenue is, if you divide it by 20, you're going to get what that 5% is going to be, and then you can divide it in the 2 and the 3% to see how much you're going to get. And so, ideally, so if they only made $1 million a year, it's really simple math, but it's just fun to look at, especially if they succeed, what these numbers could be for really the pre-sale holders. It's exciting for the regular holders too, but the pre-sale holders is where this becomes extremely bullish. $1 million, then that's going to come out to 50K, and $1 million is actually really small with revenue. If you look up a lot of compliance businesses, from the top one is like 50 billion a year, and the other ones are tens of billions. So we'll get into the more fun numbers in a little bit, but we're just going to start off small and say, hey, they only do $1 million revenue. Then that's going to be $50,000, and that's going to be in USDC. So you're going to be getting stable coin, and you're going to be getting that. So what that's going to be is the 5%, $20,000 in stablecoin is going to go to the pre-sellers. Only the pre-sellers get to share that. The great thing about that, I've talked about that many times, is if anybody sells below their pre-sale amount, as long as you don't sell below your pre-sale amount, you won't lose the VIPP, which is this extra 2%, because you're getting both. If you're in the pre-sale, you're going to get the 2% and you're going to get the 3%. And so if you're in VIPP, that's where there's a lot more opportunity to make a lot of money. So it'll just be your bag versus everybody else's bag. If you have a good amount and you have, say you had half, say you bought, put in, I don't even know, 100K or however much it would take to get half of what the pre-sale is, then you would be getting that 10K for that year that they did 1 million in revenue, if they did $1 million in revenue. And so, we can change those numbers pretty quickly. Say 10 million, that would be 500K USDC, and then that would be 200K that's going to the VIPP, and then 300K. In this pool up here, you'll be going against everybody in the pre-sale, and nobody can ever get into it again once the pre-sale ends. That's where the competition is happening right now. The more you buy, the more you increase the amount that you have versus everybody else, and the more you increase the amount that you're getting out of that 2%. But you'll also be going up against everybody in the 3%, and anybody can come in after that and buy a large amount of Vitreus and stake it for a certain amount of time and then get that 3% as well. So this one's like anybody can always come in and fight for that. You still have to stake for a certain amount of time before you qualify for it, which is good, because it means that if somebody comes in with a large amount, they can't just come in right before payout and get a huge payout. They have to hold it for a certain amount of time. You want those kind of things. And so 200,000 divided by however many people this might be, I don't know how many it's going to be, if it's going to be 1,000, or if it's, a lot of people are going to sell, or if it's going to be 500. Also depends on the amount you have in that determines the percentage that you're getting. If they did 100 million, then, we're just going to increase that amount. That's going to come out to 5 million. 5 million USDC, and so obviously that's going to go from 200,000 to 2 million. And this is where it kind of gets fun to think about, because this is every year. If they are successful for year after year, if they continue to grow in their success and they ever hit $1 billion, then that's when the numbers can get pretty fun, especially depending on how many people are left in the pre-sale and how much you have versus everybody that's in the pre-sale. If they ever just hit $1 billion in revenue, not even profit or anything, but they just have that much business happening that they're hitting $1 billion in revenue, then 5% of that's going to be going to their people. That's going to leave us with 50 million USDC that's going to be going to only the pre-sellers who haven't sold by this point. If you sell below your amount, you can never get back in. Nobody else can ever get back in. It's only during the pre-sale, right? That's going to leave with $20 million right here. So that's 20 million. And these are the numbers that's like fun to like daydream about. Oh, what if Vitreus does this well? What if they ever hit $1 billion in revenue and I'm one of the people that's in the pre-sale? And, even if I'm a smaller person, because other people have a lot more money to go in, and 10,000 and, 60,000, some people will go in hard on the pre-sale. I'm not rich, so I can't. So I'm definitely going to be one of the smaller bags. But 20 million would be being divided between however many people there is. If there's 100 people left, and say you own 10% of that, then you'd be getting 10% out of whatever that 20 million is going to be if you get a big bag during this time. And this is under the assumption that they succeed in what it is that they're doing and that companies actually want to use them. There's talks with like big projects going on behind the scenes. It actually sounds like they do have a lot going for them. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I just know for me it's worth the risk. You have to decide that for yourself. If you do decide to get some, you can use my link down below. It's easy to buy. Just make sure you use my link because I'll get the credit for it. Otherwise, why not support me? You're still getting the same amount of tokens, but you're able to support me just by using that link. ETH or USDC to the address. It's going to cost ETH gas fees, and you'll get an NFT voucher once they public launch soon. Then you'll be getting the amount of Vitreus that you earned, and you'll be able to stake it, be in the VIP program and the VIP at the same time. So if a bunch of people sell in the pre-sale, which is kind of what you want if you believe in the long-term vision of this, then we would be splitting 20 million amongst, even if you split that among 1,000 people, which I don't know how many people are going to be left or what the amounts are, if a lot of those people only hold very small portions. If that was the case and everybody held an equal amount, then everybody would be getting 20,000 each. It's probably not going to be equal. It's probably going to be you own 1%, somebody else owns 5, somebody else owns 15, another whale owns 11. Probably going to be something along those lines. But right now is the easiest time to increase that amount versus other people. You can go look at the NFT vouchers, and this is every year, right? If they're making $1 billion a year, then it's 20 million being divided however many of those people are. If they ever hit 10 billion, which is a lot, that's like extremely successful. But hey, let's talk about the numbers for the sake of it. Then you'd be looking at 200 million being divided between the pre-sellers and who knows how much that number could be. But you're also be getting the 3% as well. You just be sharing that with probably a much larger group of people as well. And last thing I would say about this that's really cool is because the pre-sale has such huge incentive to hold as a pre-seller, either way is good, because if everybody's holding because they don't want to miss out on those rewards that potentially could be big. And Chad's also talked and said in the past, I don't know if this has changed, about possibly even increasing the amount from 5% to even more if they are doing really well, I guess. I don't know. Just to really incentivize the rewards. What that does, obviously, is that incentivizes holding, and holding is how you cause FOMO. Large amounts of people holding who really control the project. The whales control the project. We have the power to lower the price or raise the price. Well, if everybody's persuaded that they want to hold because they're convinced that this AI blockchain compliance that's already meeting with big people, has big partners, already has people that have successful histories behind it, persuaded that it's going to do well, then that definitely allows for that number one factor when it comes to massive price spikes, 10x, 100x, potentially 1,000x. I don't know. That's like moon talk, right? But who knows? It definitely does happen, and for me, this has all the potential to do it, and alleviates that sell pressure, creates the pressure to hold, and it allows for potentially that price to really take off. And then you have the opportunity for, if I were you and you're a believer in this, I would have one for the pre-sale, the VIPP, the passive staking stable USDC that you're going to get every year. It's every single year, it's not once. Obviously they have to do well, and obviously you want as many people out of the pre-sale as possible in this picture, and you want to increase as much as you have against each other. And we're competing now for the rewards in the future, whether they're bad or good. That's what we're competing for right now. But I also think this just has massive potential to hit that FOMO and to create some massive price action, because what causes a project to explode is the whales hold and an expectation of profit from even everybody that's getting in. So there's huge incentive for people to hold, and if they don't hold and you're in the pre-sale, then that's what you want if you believe in the long-term vision, because the more people that get out, then the better. If there's 1,000 and 100 people sell the pre-sale, then that leaves only 900 that you have to share with, versus the bag that you hold versus the amount that everybody else has staked. So if there's periods of time where people start to get scared and go, oh, maybe we should sell, and they get out and you stay in that pre-sale, then if they ever start generating revenue down the line, years down the line, it's a good thing, right? That's the long-term play. As far as the short term, I would definitely personally also have a separate bag for trading that you would want to hope for a dip maybe after the pre-sale. Hopefully you can buy that, or just get it back during the pre-sale and have it as a separate NFT and a separate wallet that you can use for potentially taking profits in the future if you expect the price to go crazy. That's kind of how I'm approaching this right now. Is I see a massive potential for them to succeed as a company and for me to benefit from that by investing in them early, but I also see a massive potential for huge price action and the potential to be a whale in this project, even through a small amount of money. If you guys are interested in this project or you just want to buy more, make sure you use my link. It just benefits me. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt anybody. It just benefits me, helps me out for spreading the message. And I'm probably going to continue to make videos on Vitreus probably through their lifetime. I'm going to be covering them from the launch to the blockchain to the latest updates with Chad and the team to the newest technology to the biggest partnerships. I'm very excited to be a YouTuber for them and cover all this as it's happening. Use that link. Make sure you use it. If you click off that link and you don't use my link, then nobody gets the credit. But if you use that link, then I'll get credit for it. And I appreciate everybody who uses that link. I'll see you guys in the next video.